regardless of how much effort, as long as you do something for La ilaha illallah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam always used to, value the people who left a legacy, people who do something. As long as you do something, akhi, don't stand still. You do something, you move, make some efforts. The Prophet one time, he noticed some woman, an old woman. The only thing she used to do is clean the mosque. An old woman. She's like poor old woman. What does she used to do? She used to clean the mosque. One day he noticed that she was not there. So the Prophet asked, where is that old woman? They said, oh Prophet of Allah, she died last night. She died last night. Why didn't you wake me up so I can pray on her? The Prophet says, you were sleeping. We did not want to disturb you. As if they're telling him, oh Rasulullah, she's like an old, she's nobody. Why should we wake you up to pray? She's like nobody, a poor old woman, cleaning the mosque. We will wait until tomorrow whenever you wake up. The Prophet says, no, you should have woke me up. Show me where her grave is. Dalluni ala qabriha. Tell me where her grave is. And they showed him where her grave is. This is the title of the lecture. Show me where her grave is. Do you know what her grave is? Dalluni ala qabriha. And they showed him her grave, and he went and he performed the salah on her. It's a woman, an old woman, miskina, poor, yet she left a legacy. She did something. As my daughter, she used to tell me, Dad, DSS. Say, what's DSS? Is this some new One Direction thingy? All this 1D. One Direction is La ilaha illallah. What are you talking about? One Direction. I said, Dad, don't you know what DSS means? I said, I don't know what DSS. What's DSS? She says, DSS. DSS. I said, what's DSS? Don't stand still. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Yalla, I need to hear some noise. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Are there any Moroccans in the house? No, they're not enough. How about the Somalis? There you go, mashallah. Skawan! What's Skawan, yes sir? Are there any Pakistanis in town? There you go. Any Norwegians? You're dead, man. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Any Danish? No. Any Muslims in the house? Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you all the Firdaus al-A'la. Say Ameen. I've been traveling around asking, where's her grave? Where is her grave? My brothers and sisters, that the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam was sent out to all mankind. Ya ayyuhan nas, inni rasulullahi ilaykum jami'a. O you people, ayyuhan nas, I am the messenger of God being sent to you all. So the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam was sent to all mankind, Arabs and non-Arabs. And let me give you an idea as to what type of people the Prophet Muhammad had to deal with, so I can connect it with the topic that we're going to be talking about today. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to people who used to worship stones, rocks, animals, sun, moon, trees. It's been narrated by a man known as Abu Raja al-Ataridi. Abu Raja al-Ataridi, he said, we were traveling and we used to take our gods with us. Listen to this. We were traveling and we used to take our gods with us, and the gods were made of rocks, idols. And then we were cooking our food in this big pot, and we were looking for a rock because we needed to put this pot into, and we had to put like some rocks as a base, and then put the pot on top of a rock. So we were missing one rock, and we were looking for some rocks. We could not find a good one. So he says, we brought our God that they were carrying with them. So we brought our God and we put it under the pot to hold the pot where they were cooking their food. They cooked their food, they ate their food, and then when they were done, they left. On the way, one of them says, أيها الناس لقد ضل ربنا. Oh, you people, we have forgotten our God. We have forgotten our God. Let's go back and look for it. They went back looking for their God, meaning that rock that they took with them. They were looking for some rock, their God. They could not find that particular rock that they had put in under the pot. So they looked for some other rocks. They picked one. They poured some milk in it. They cleaned it and they said, okay, this is our new God. This is the type of people that the Prophet was sent to. This kind of people. People who, this is what it's called the day of ignorance. The Prophet had to deal with this type of mentality. People worshiping rocks. People worshiping stones. People worshiping galaxies. People worshiping stars. People worshiping sun and the moon and trees and monkeys and donkeys. And worshiping and drinking the urine of monkeys and donkeys. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Yet, Islam was on the move. Islam was on the move. Despite all the oppression that the companions were going through, Islam was on the move. Islam was growing. The Sahaba, the companions, they went through a lot of oppression. They went through a lot of hardship. You see, Islam came to us so easy. How many new Muslims or how many revert Muslims do we have in the house? Revert Muslims. MashaAllah, they're quite few. Did anybody, once you embrace Islam, anybody I'm talking to you, akhi. Did anybody put a gun and says, revert, go back to whatever you were before? Or we're going to slaughter you, we're going to hit you, did anybody do that to you? There's a man by the name of Al-Khabbab. Al-Khabbab ibn al-Arath is a companion. So they're sitting with some companions and with Umar talking about, who was really punished the more, who was tortured the more or the most. Bilal says, me, of course. Bilal said, me. They used to put, rocks on my chest and they were torturing me to live my religion. And I did not live my religion. Al-Khabbab says, no, ya Bilal, it is not you. And he showed him his back. And when Umar saw the back of Al-Khabbab ibn al-Arath, Umar fainted. Al-Khabbab had holes in his back. They used to bring charcoal, my brothers and sisters. They used to bring hot charcoal and they would put his back on the charcoal, the hot charcoal. They would press his back against it so just he would, leave his religion. Yet he did not leave his religion. People, they suffered to say La ilaha illallah and to stay with La ilaha illallah. Umayyah ibn Khalaf was torturing Sumayyah and her husband and her son. Umar was also torturing, before Islam. He used to torture his maid. They went to a lot of torture, my brothers and sisters. They went to a lot of suffering just to keep their faith, just to hold on their faith. Yet, subhanallah, once they enter into the fold of Islam, they would understand their role and they would understand their obligation. They understood their mission. As soon as they say La ilaha illallah, anybody who comes and say La ilaha illallah, they understood right away their commitment. It is reported, listen to this amazing story. The Prophet sent a man as a messenger, to convey Islam. He sent him to a town between At-Ta'if and Mecca. From Medina, it's about 700 kilometers. So he went for about 700 kilometers from Medina to Mecca. There were no planes, there were no cars, there were no motorcycles. They were either on foot or using camels. This guy walked and rode for 700 kilometers just so that he can convey the message to this little town. It's called Wadi Nu'man, the Valley of Nu'man. Yet nobody believed in him. And then he made a U-turn and he went back to Medina. The leader of that town, Wadi Nu'man, he thought to himself, he says, you know what? I'm going to travel to Medina myself to hear it from Muhammad himself. I want to talk to Muhammad. Maybe he's right. So let me go back and travel and hear it from him. So he traveled 700 kilometers all the way to Medina. And listen to this amazing story. He entered Medina. You know the Arabs? Who are the Arabs here? Hey, Arabs. Nobody. I can hardly see you, man. Arabs? None. Only few. Arabs, the Bedouins, they're kind of harsh, Bedouin. So this guy goes into Medina and he goes, Ayna ibn Abd al-Muttalib? Ayna ibn Abd al-Muttalib? Where is the son of Abd al-Muttalib? The people look at him and say, take it easy, man. I mean, they didn't say, take it easy, man, You don't think it's funny, huh? Okay, fine. Where is Ibn Abd al-Muttalib? Where is Ibn Abd al-Muttalib? They said, he is in the masjid. So he goes inside the masjid. Ayna ibn Abd al-Muttalib? Where is, he's asking about Muhammad alayhi salam. Hey, where is the son of Abd al-Muttalib? They said, he is there by the post. And the Prophet says, Ha I'm here. Ha So he goes to him. Ayna ibn Abd al-Muttalib? The Prophet says, I am ibn Abd al-Muttalib. The man says, Inni sa'iluk wa mushaddidun alayka as-su'al fala tajid fi qalbik. He says, I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm going to be very harsh. So do not take it personal. He's saying, I don't know, please. I don't know, thank you. I don't know, I am just going to be very rude, asking you straight questions. So don't take it personally. The Prophet says, ask. So the man says, Ya Muhammad, oh Muhammad, man rafa'a as-sama'? Who created the heavens? The Prophet said, Allah. Oh Muhammad, وَمَنْ نَصَبَ الْجِبَالِ? And who created the mountains? The Prophet said, Allah. Oh Muhammad, and who created the earth? The Prophet says, Allah. The man says, I ask you by the one who created the heavens, the mountains, and the earth. Has Allah sent you to us as a messenger? The Prophet says, Allahumma na'am. Yes. I ask you by the one who created the heavens, the earth, and the mountains. Has Allah asked you to ask us to pray 5 times a day? The Prophet says, yes, Allahumma na'am. I'm asking you by the one who created the heavens, the earth, and the mountains. Has God, Allah, asked you to tell us to pay zakat and to fast Ramadan and to do the Hajj? The Prophet says, Allahumma na'am. Yes. Then the man says, I am the leader. Dirar. My name is Dirar. I am the leader of my tribe. And I'm here to witness that there's no God worthy of worship but Allah. And you are the messenger of Allah. If I believe in you and I believe in Allah, would I enter Jannah? The Prophet says, Allahumma na'am. Yes, Allahumma na'am. If you believe in me and you believe in Allah and you believe in me and you do these 5 things that I've asked you to do, yes, you shall enter Jannah. And the guy, as soon as the Prophet Muhammad told him yes, he ran out of the masjid. You know, they used to have this long hair. They called, braids. Sisters, the thing, they know what I'm talking about. They used to have in the day of ignorance, the man used to have this long hair. So when he was walking like this, and the hair was like, You know what? Let me tell you why this. Because the man rushed out of the masjid and his hair was moving, like he was walking so fast and the hair was doing like this. Right? So the Prophet says, Sadaqa, Sadaqa. He says, he spoke the truth. He spoke the truth. He forgot his name, Dirar. He says, the guy with the 2 braids, he spoke the truth. Sadaq. He spoke the truth. If he does exactly as he said he will do, he shall enter Jannah. This guy went back straight to his family. 700 kilometers. It may have taken him a month or 2 or whatnot. He went back. Listen to what happened. As soon as he comes in, his father was coming to him and he said to his father, Abi, ilayka anni. Dad, stay back. Stay back. Why, son? Lasta minni wa lastu mink. I am not from you, you're not from me. Why, oh son, why? He said, غيرت ديني واتبعت دين محمد. I have changed my religion and I'm following the religion of Muhammad. The father said, I will follow you, my son. I'll follow you. Then he says, go take a bath, come back, I shall teach you Islam. And then the mom comes to him and then he tells his mom, Mom, ilayki anni. Mom, stay back. Why? I not from you, you're not from me. I changed my religion and I'm following the religion of Muhammad. And then the mom says, I'm with you, son. He says, go take a shower, come back, let me teach you Islam. And then the wife comes in. I understand if the father, the mother, yes. But this guy has not seen his wife for maybe 2-3 months. And then she's coming in, right? What does he say? Does he break the rules? No. إليك عني. Stay back. Why? Stay back. لست مني ولست منك. You're not from me, I'm not from you. Why? What did I do, honey? Mary Jam. She wasn't Pakistani, we just say Mary Jam. What did I do? Why? Stay back. I'm not from you, not from me. Why, honey? Why? Not honey. She didn't say honey, but I'm saying. What? I'm not from you, not from me. I changed my religion. I follow the religion of Muhammad. She says, I will follow the religion of Muhammad. He says, go back, take a shower, come here. I shall teach you Islam. The narrator of the story, he says, by sunset, the entire town embraced Islam. They knew their responsibility. As soon as they said that commitment, that I have to live according to some rules, obey Allah, obey the Prophet, and convey the message of La ilaha illallah. They don't have to follow me. And I don't have to follow them. But I have a mission. I have a legacy that I have to leave behind me. I have to convey the message. And my brothers and sisters, regardless of how much effort, as long as you do something for La ilaha illallah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam always used to, value the people who left a legacy, people who do something. As long as you do something, akhi, don't stand still. You do something, you move, make some efforts. The Prophet one time, he noticed some woman, an old woman. The only thing she used to do is clean the mosque. An old woman. She's like poor old woman. What does she used to do? She used to clean the mosque. One day he noticed that she was not there. So the Prophet asked, where is that old woman? They said, oh Prophet of Allah, she died last night. She died last night. Why didn't you wake me up so I can pray on her? The Prophet says, you were sleeping. We did not want to disturb you. As if they're telling him, oh Rasulullah, she's like an old, she's nobody. Why should we wake you up to pray? She's like nobody, a poor old woman, cleaning the mosque. We will wait until tomorrow whenever you wake up. The Prophet says, no, you should have woke me up. Show me where her grave is. Dalluni ala qabriha. Tell me where her grave is. And they showed him where her grave is. This is the title of the lecture. Show me where her grave is. You know what her grave is? Dalluni ala qabriha. And they showed him her grave, and he went and he performed the salah on her. It's a woman, an old woman, miskina, poor, yet she left a legacy. She did something. As my daughter, she used to tell me, Dad, DSS. Say, what's DSS? Is this some new One Direction thingy? All is 1D. One Direction is La ilaha illallah. What are you talking about? One Direction. I said, Dad, don't you know what DSS means? I said, I don't know what DSS. What's DSS? She says, DSS. DSS. I said, what's DSS? Don't stand still. Don't stand still. Just don't move. Do something for Allah. Do something for La ilaha illallah. You cannot just go and pray and then, there are a lot of people, your neighbors, your friends, people dying without La ilaha illallah. When I was in San Francisco, one guy came to the mosque, a Caucasian, white guy, blue eye. He came to the mosque and he told us, my father, he says to the masjid, my father died yesterday. You people, none of you has ever come to our house or came and knocked at us, and we're the neighbor of your mosque. Nobody has ever come to tell us about Islam. Yesterday, my father died. I will hold you responsible before Allah for not coming and telling us about Islam. We live in the masjid. We stay in the masjid. Yes, our neighbors also, we never thought of going around and telling people about this amazing, beautiful religion. And alhamdulillah, this is the purpose of the peace conference. Not only to bring people out together, but to go out with a mission. We live in the West. There are certain rules that we have to abide by, yes. But also people, they have to know that, what is Islam? Islam is not what they hear from the TV, akhi. They hear about Islam and Muslims, extremism and whatnot. That is not Islam. We need to tell them what Islam is all about. Do you know, my brothers and sisters, that the majority of the mosques in North America, Canada, and the US, the majority of the mosques, they used to be churches. The majority of the mosques in North America, they used to be churches. Churches are going out of business. A lot of churches are going out of business. And they turn into a masjid. Have you ever seen a masjid shut down? Anybody? A mosque shut down because, well, you know what? Nobody comes to our mosque, so, we're running out of business. We just, we shut it down. Have you ever heard that? What happens when you build a masjid? We buy some building and we call it a masjid, right? And then 6 months later, a year later, what do we do? Tell me. What do we do? Raise funds. Why? Why do we need to raise funds? We need to expand. We need to expand. We don't close down. We expand, subhanallah. There's this guy, he saw a dream. He built a masjid. He built a mosque and he put some rules. He says, I don't want nobody to help me build this mosque. So he wants to build the mosque with his own wealth, with his own money. So he saw a dream. He saw a dream that this mosque that he's built, because he put the name of the mosque, he put his name. He put a big sign, his name, as this is the name, the masjid after my name. And then he saw in his dream an angel coming down, taking that sign out and putting another sign of some woman, the name of a woman. The guy wakes up in the morning. Hey, go check, what name is there? They came back and they said, no, it's still your name. He says, no, I saw that the name's been changed. They came and they told him, no, it's still your name. He goes back to sleep the same, the second night, and then he sees the same dream. An angel coming down, taking that sign, taking his name out, erasing it, and putting the name of some woman. The guy wakes up again, very, very annoyed. Has anybody changed my name? Go back and check. They checked, they came back and says, no, your name is still there. It has not been changed. The third day, he has the same dream. The same dream. By now, he has memorized the name of this woman. The third day, he says, go bring me the name of this woman. I want to see this woman. This angel coming down, changing my name and putting her name. Go get me this woman. It was an old woman. They looked for her. They found her. An old woman, miskina, like poor. She comes in. He says, what did you do? She says, I did not do anything. What did you do? No, you must have done something. She says, well, I'm a poor woman. What would I do? I asked nobody to pitch in. I don't want nobody to contribute to build this mosque. What did you do? I know you said that. I didn't do it. I'm a poor woman anyways. I cannot pay. I cannot do anything. He says, no, you must have done something because this name has changed. My name has changed. Angels coming down to put your name as the name of this masjid. You must have done something. She says, I'm a poor woman. The only thing I have done, look, DSS. The only thing she has done was she was walking by and she saw these camels, these mules, the mules that they used to do to carry sand and to carry water to help build the masjid, to help build the mosque. And these mules, they were, leeched. There was a leech and they were standing by outside of the masjid and one of them was thirsty. She was trying to get some water because there was a bucket of water next to it, next to that mule. And this mule was trying to move her head and get close to that water. She was trying to drink and she couldn't. And this old woman, she saw her trying to get close to that bucket. And then what did she do? She says, I only took that bucket of water and I put it close to her so that mule drank from it. That's all she did. She says, you did that for the sake of Allah. I wanted to build this mosque, not for the sake of Allah, but you did it for the sake of Allah, and He changed that name of the masjid after her name because of this little, trivial thing that she has done for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters, would you believe that a prostitute with all due respect, a woman from the children of Israel, the children of Israel, she was forgiven and entered Jannah because she watered a dog. She watered for a dog. A dog, a woman, an old woman, she comes in, she goes into this well. She drinks from the well. She comes up from the well. And then she found, because her clothes were wet, and then she was walking, and her clothes were dripping water. And this dog, who was thirsty, was going and trying to drink from that water because he was really thirsty. So he was eating the dust. She saw the dog being thirsty. She went down into that well, and then she took her shoes. She took her shoes, she filled them with water, and then she went up the well and she watered the dog. Our Prophet says Allah forgave her and made her enter Jannah. She watered a dog. She did not water a human being. There are people today who are opposing, the people today who are dying of thirst in Gaza, in Palestine, because they could not get clean water. Clean water. Why the clean water? Because the Muslims who are living next door, they put, they did not let the water go through. They put some restrictions or whatnot. There are people only they want water. This woman, Allah forgave her and made her enter Jannah because she watered a dog. All I'm trying to say is, what have you done for Islam lately? What have you done for your religion lately? By Allah, Allah will ask you, what have you done? Should you say, oh Allah, I prayed? The praying is for you. But what have you done for Islam?